Machiavelli saw it firsthand. Rulers who burned too brightly, who let their victories and wealth shine for all to see, didn't inspire respect. They attracted envy, fear, and hatred. The more brightly you burn, the faster you draw the eyes and the knives. How many times has that spotlight left you exposed? And what if the secret to real power is silence? Before you rush to share your next win, ask yourself, who really benefits when you put yourself on display? If this made you think twice about how you show up in the world, hit like and subscribe for more insights on power, perception, and protecting your peace. We're wired to want recognition. When something goes right, a promotion, a new car, a moment of praise, there's a natural urge to share it. You feel that spark, the impulse to let others know. Maybe you post it online, mention it at dinner, or bring it up in conversation. For a moment, it feels good. You get attention, a burst of approval, and a sense of belonging. But that rush fades quickly, leaving a strange emptiness. Why do we keep chasing it? The answer runs deeper than culture or habit. The need to show off is rooted in our basic psychology. Whenever you share your achievements and receive recognition, your mind registers a reward. This feedback loop encourages you to repeat the behavior, seeking the next hit of approval. Over time, it becomes addictive. The more you seek validation, the more you need it. But this kind of reward is fragile. It depends entirely on others, and it comes with a price you might not notice until it's too late. Every time you put your success on display, you reveal more than you realize. Social media makes this painfully obvious. You share a photo from your vacation or talk about your latest milestone, and someone out there is watching. Maybe they feel envy. Maybe they judge you, thinking you're arrogant or out of touch. You might never hear their thoughts, but the effect is real. That flash of admiration you chase can spark resentment or rivalry in others. The more you show, the more you give people to dissect and potentially use against you. It's not just online either. Imagine you're at a gathering surrounded by friends and acquaintances. You mention a recent win. Maybe you bought your dream house or landed a big promotion. People smile and congratulate you, but beneath the surface, something else stirs. Some quietly compare themselves to you. Some feel challenged or left behind. Others remember your words for reasons you'll never see. By putting yourself in the spotlight, you invite scrutiny. You give people reasons to measure you, judge you, and sometimes root for you to stumble. This isn't to say validation always feels wrong. On the contrary, it feels natural. We're social animals. In the past, showing success meant proving your worth to the group, earning allies and protection. But the world has changed. Today, the rules are less obvious and the risks are higher. What once earned you support now makes you a target. The more visible your victories, the more likely you are to attract the wrong kind of attention. There's another problem. Showing off doesn't just spark envy, it creates expectations. The moment you announce your achievement, people start watching. Will you keep winning, or was it a one-time thing? Some will cheer you on, but others wait to see if you fail. When you build your reputation on applause, you also set yourself up for disappointment. The people who crave validation the most are often the ones most shaken when it disappears. But what really drives this need to show off? At its core, it's about insecurity. The urge to seek validation is often a sign that you're unsure of your own worth. When you share your wins, you're really asking, do you see me? Am I enough? The approval feels good, but it never lasts. As soon as it fades, the emptiness returns, and you're left searching for the next opportunity to prove yourself. In this way, bragging isn't a sign of confidence, it's a mask for doubt. The real danger, though, is what happens when you reveal too much. Every detail you share gives others more power over you. A boast about your wealth might attract opportunists. A story about your success might inspire someone to compete or undermine you. Even those who seem supportive now could turn on you later. The more you reveal, the more vulnerable you become. So ask yourself, when's the last time you felt that emptiness after the likes faded? What did it teach you? Maybe real strength isn't about being seen at all. Maybe the things you're most proud of are the very things that make you vulnerable. What if the very qualities you celebrate are the ones that put you at risk? Machiavelli understood that the spotlight is not just a stage, it's a trap. His warning is clear. The more visible you become, the more you arm those who would see you fall. In his eyes, power is most secure when it's hard to pin down, when your strengths and intentions remain just out of reach. Once you step forward and let the world see what you're truly capable of, you begin to lose your advantage. Visibility, he argued, is a weapon that can be turned against you at any moment. Look at Cesare Borgia, Machiavelli's living example of a perfect prince. Early in his ascent, Borgia mastered the art of moving in shadows. He orchestrated the assassination of his rival, Ramiro de Orco, with calculated timing, sending a message to allies and enemies alike without ever revealing his full hand. This kind of subtlety kept his adversaries guessing and off balance. For a while, it worked. Borgia was unpredictable, and that unpredictability made him untouchable. But things changed the moment he began to believe his own legend. As his confidence grew, so did his need to display power openly. He started flaunting his dominance, making his victories public, and relying more and more on the authority of his father, Pope Alexander VI. When Pope Alexander VI died, Borgia's foundation crumbled. Suddenly, the very visibility that once inspired fear now made him an easy target. His enemies, who had watched and waited, struck quickly. Betrayal came from every direction, and Borgia, once the model of strategic concealment, found himself exposed and powerless. His downfall wasn't just about losing an ally. It was about losing the protective layer of mystery that had shielded him from coordinated attacks. Machiavelli's lesson goes deeper than a single story. He saw that when you stand above the crowd, you isolate yourself from it. The moment you display superiority, even unintentionally, you trigger instinctive reactions in those around you. Admiration is always mixed with envy, and envy is never quiet for long. It breeds resentment, and resentment has a way of bringing people together in opposition. The more you show, the more you risk becoming a common enemy, the focal point for those who feel threatened or left behind. He didn't advise humility for the sake of virtue. Machiavelli was never interested in moral arguments. His advice was pure strategy. He urged rulers to appear ordinary, to mask their true power behind a facade of simplicity. Machiavelli wrote, "The vulgar are taken by the outcome of a thing," to underline why appearing ordinary shields you from resentment. If you seem just like everyone else, you slip beneath the radar. No one feels threatened, so no one feels the need to unite against you. It's not about being liked. It's about not being noticed in a way that provokes opposition. This principle is just as real today as it was in Renaissance Italy. Think about what happens when someone in your world gets a promotion, buys an expensive car, or posts about their latest achievement. The initial reaction might be congratulations, but beneath the surface, something else stirs. People compare, measure, and sometimes quietly root for a stumble. The more visible your success, the more you invite scrutiny and silent judgment. Those who cheer you on today might be the first to question or undermine you tomorrow. Imagine yourself in a crowded room. When the lights are low, everyone moves carefully, uncertain of where others stand. But if you step into a spotlight, all attention shifts to you. Every gesture, every word is amplified. Any mistake becomes a point of focus. This is the reality of visibility. It doesn't just attract attention, it magnifies your vulnerabilities. The information you share, whether it's a boast, a casual comment, or a visible display of status, offers others a map of your strengths and weaknesses. The more predictable you become, the easier it is for others to plan your downfall. Most people don't realize how much they give away until it's too late. They think that projecting confidence and success will protect them, but Machiavelli's warning is the opposite. The more you reveal, the more you lose control over how others see you and how they react. True power, he believed, lies in what you conceal, not in what you show. The less certain people are about your abilities and intentions, the less likely they are to unite against you. So, what's the real lesson here? If visibility is a weapon, then restraint is your shield. The world is quick to reward those who shine, but just as quick to turn on them. The strongest positions are often the ones no one notices until it's too late. In a society obsessed with standing out, consider the value of moving quietly, of letting your power speak in actions rather than announcements. If you've ever wondered why the truly powerful seem to operate in silence, it's not by accident. There's a reason why the most influential figures are often the least flashy. What does it mean to move in silence, and why does that make you powerful? Some of the most powerful people in history have mastered the art of restraint. The Stoics and the Taoists both saw strength not in loud declarations, but in quiet control. This isn't about hiding in fear. It's about choosing when and how you reveal yourself, if at all. Seneca, advisor to emperors and one of Rome's sharpest minds, saw firsthand how dangerous envy could be at the highest levels. Nothing invites envy like greatness on display, he warned. In his world, envy didn't just mean a few jealous looks. It meant political plots, sabotage, and the collapse of entire dynasties. Seneca believed that the more you put your success on display, the more you invite others to undermine you. For him, restraint was both a shield and a weapon. He urged leaders to hold back, to keep their greatest strengths hidden from view, because applause is never worth the enemies it attracts. Lao Tzu, the founder of Taoism, took the idea even further. "Those who show themselves do not shine," he wrote in the Tao Te Ching. The lesson is simple, but it cuts deep. The urge to be recognized feels natural, but Lao Tzu saw that real power works in silence. He used water as his metaphor. Water doesn't announce itself. It doesn't fight for attention. But over time, it carves mountains and shapes the world around it. That's the kind of strength that endures, the kind that adapts, persists, and never has to shout to prove its presence. For Lao Tzu, subtlety beats spectacle every time. The leader who moves quietly and lets results speak is the one who lasts. Think about what happens when you see someone always talking about their latest win, always chasing attention. At first, people might be impressed, but it doesn't take long for admiration to turn into resentment or skepticism. The more you show, the more you give others to judge, criticize, or challenge. The Stoics and Taoists understood that the moment you become predictable, you become vulnerable. When your strengths are obvious, your enemies know exactly where to strike. When you hold back, when you let people underestimate you, you keep control, you move freely, you surprise. There's a reason the quiet, deliberate strategist always seems to come out ahead. It isn't luck, it's mystique. Both Seneca and Lao Tzu leaned into this idea. When you don't reveal everything, you create a sense of mystery. People want to know more, but they can't quite figure you out. That uncertainty protects you. It gives you space to act without interference. Mystique draws respect, not envy. It makes you unpredictable, a quality that, in any power game, is priceless. Like a chess player who never telegraphs their next move, you gain the upper hand simply by staying unreadable. This isn't just ancient wisdom. You can see it play out everywhere today. In any room, the person who doesn't need to prove themselves stands out. They're calm, composed, and hard to read. Others are drawn in, curious, sometimes even a little uneasy. The loudest voice gets attention, but the quietest presence gets respect. That's because restraint signals confidence. It tells the world you don't need validation. You let your results speak for themselves. Even history's most intimidating reputations have been built on mystery. Consider Churchill's description of Russia as a riddle wrapped in a mystery, inside an enigma. Unpredictability kept opponents off balance. When people can't read your intentions, they hesitate, they second-guess, they hold back. That pause is all the space you need to act on your own terms. Modern culture pushes us to be visible, to share every achievement, to chase recognition. But the Stoics and Taoists would say, that's a trap. Visibility attracts attention, and attention always comes with a cost. True strength is silent, patient, and immune to the need for applause. It's the power that comes from knowing you don't have to be seen to be felt. If quiet strength shapes mountains, why do we waste our power on noise? Maybe being overlooked isn't a weakness at all. Maybe it's the starting point for something no one else sees coming. Let's look at what happens when others don't see you coming. The quiet advantage is real, and it's more powerful than most people want to believe. Underestimation isn't just a side effect of staying silent, it's a weapon. If you can keep your strengths hidden, you gain a kind of freedom that the loudest person in the room will never know. Sun Tzu, in The Art of War, put it clearly, appear weak when you are strong. He didn't mean you should pretend to be powerless out of fear. He meant that real strategy is about controlling what others see. When you look harmless, you become invisible to your rivals. They lower their guard, they relax, and that's when you have the upper hand. The moment you put your strengths on display, you issue a challenge to the world. Maybe you gain some admiration, but you also attract rivals. People who want to prove themselves by knocking you down. This is the trap of visibility. If you seem average or even a little weak, no one prepares for you. You move without resistance. Sun Tzu's wisdom is about more than avoiding conflict. It's about shaping the battlefield before a fight even starts. The best generals, he said, win before the battle begins. They do it by controlling perception, by letting their opponents misjudge them, and by striking only when the time is right.